What's up, everybody? It's Williams Farms back with a brand new video. We're going to be doing a little 1980s roleplay using some early 70s, mid 70s equipment, and then a combine that has just debuted in 1982. So we will jump right on into it. So currently it is November 13th, 1983. And we are just beginning corn harvest. I know that's pretty late, but for the equipment we have and the maturity group we planted, it is what is working for us. So first things first, we have a hopper full over on the combine over here, and we're going to unload it into a Kilbros wagon, and then we are going to move on to the next field. But first, I'm going to run over the equipment that we use on the farm. So coming over here behind the equipment shed to the concrete pad, starting us off, we have a beautiful John Deere 3-point chisel plow, which we bought a few years back. Don't use it as much now because we have upgraded, but it still does get utilized pretty well. On to the next one, we have our John Deere sprayer. This is what we use on farm and down the road to spray everything that we need. And then we have our John Deere 7000 series planter that has the max emerge. We bought this in 1975. And it has treated us well ever since. So looking forward to keep planting with that and get some more seed in the ground. And then finally we have our John Deere grain drill that we use to put all of our soybean and wheat in. So that is what we're rolling with right now, and then we'll move on to more. Coming over to the equipment shed, not super packed right now because everything's out in the field, but starting us off, we have our John Deere 4440. We bought this in 1979. It is 102 horsepower, running around a little about $12,000. Not as new to us anymore, but still our powerhouse tractor does most of the planting and most of the tillage. Coming behind it, we have our John Deere 110 little disc. We just picked this up a few months ago, and this is going to be the first year that we use it. So I'm really excited, looking forward to using that, utilizing that, and seeing if that works better than the 3-point. Coming over here, we have a Chevy C50 V8. We've had this on the farm for a long time now. It's our main grain truck. It works perfectly. It's getting a little older, but still in mint condition. And behind it, we're pulling our Kilbros gravity wagon, which we picked up a couple years back, and we have 2 of them that are in production. Coming over to our grain bin setup, we have our bin for corn. Our soybean is off-site, but right here we have a versatile auger that has worked perfectly for us. It's relatively new to us, but has been used. We bought it in an auction. And then our other main tractor is our 4020 diesel. This is our all-time favorite tractor. We bought this in 1969. It is a little over 84 horsepower. And we use it to pull some of the implements. We can run the grain drill with it and then pull full gravity wagons. So that's the setup we got going right here, and it works for us. Coming over to the field that we just opened up, we have a gravity wagon hooked up to a Farmall Super N. This is my dad's. He's had it for a few years now. Passed it down to me on the farm. Runs great. Is a little old also, but it's pulling the empty gravity carts just to pull them around so we don't have to free up the auger tractor over on the bin. And then over here we have an International 1420. This is an axial flow combine, and it is pretty much brand new to us. We picked up the 6-row head, and we bought this in 1982, I believe. So it's about a year old. It came out in 82, and this is basically just what we're going to run with. I mean, so far, from what we can tell, it's cut great. It's better than what we had. We had a John Deere 4400. Thus is now broke down. It's actually back in the woods. And we're just going to keep trucking along with this. We're going to finish off this little bit over here, and then we're going to head down to our other location and really get on some corn. So currently we're pulling up to the gravity wagon. We're going to go ahead and unload so we can get on the road and move to our new location. So we've decided to lay off of that field. The corn is running just a little bit moist for us, so we're going to go ahead and head down to the next fields and chop on those because we planted those, I believe, 5, 6, 7 days earlier, so they should be farther along maturity-wise. So that's what we're looking for, and I'm gonna meet you guys down there when we get there. So we've arrived here at our little cluster of fields we have. Probably need to straighten this up one day and make it bigger and expand, but for now we're doing what works for us. So we're gonna go ahead and cut a little bit of this and then have somebody run the grain truck over, and then once we get that filled, we'll run it back and unload it into the grain bin. So while I'm cutting this corn down, I think our winter project or fall project is probably going to be to actually join some of these fields. The reason we don't do this right now is because there's only a few of us and we all have full-time jobs outside of farming. This is basically just for extra money on the table. So while we're not actually farming full-time, it's just easier to have smaller sized fields, because basically when there's not as many of us available, it doesn't take as many people out here to get the equipment up and going and to just keep everything moving as smoothly. So as I was doing my last pass on this smaller field, I got 100% full, so we're going to have somebody come run the grain truck down here so that we can unload and just keep trucking along. And then as I'm thinking about it, I didn't know that our bean field was this far along. We haven't been checking. Work's been really busy. So we're going to have to run up at some point, grab the bean head, and then come back down here and hit that bean field as well. So we got the truck delivered with the gravity wagon on the back. We're going to start by filling up the grain truck and then move our way back. But so far this is yielding pretty good for what we have. Pretty impressed with how it's going. It is some Pioneer corn. So we're just going to keep trucking along and see if we can make a little extra money. So we just finished up this field, so we're going to go ahead, cut into the next one, and then we're going to try to fill up the gravity wagon as much as we can, and then I think we're going to call it quits after this field. Got some other errands to run, so we're going to try to knock this one out, take the truck back, unload it, and then be done for the day. So as we unload our auger here, we have a full hopper. Basically, we had 6 rows left, and we only got about, I'd say, probably halfway down the field before it actually just, you know, kind of puttered out. So we're going to go back after we go ahead and unload this, and then we are going to park the combine and take the grain back. So we're finishing up here. We've got the auger out. We're going to go ahead and go run this over here, unload it, and park this in the field, and then drive the truck back and unload into the auger. So after we unloaded, it seems as if maybe the clutch was slipping a little bit, so we climbed up in here. We're going to fasten and tighten one of the belts a little bit better so that we don't have that problem, and then we are going to let part of the rotor clear out a little bit, let some wind blow on it, blow some of that extra nasty stuff out while we're going ahead and unloading back at the farm. So the Chevy is unloaded. All we have to do now is turn off the auger, get everything shut down, and then I think we'll be good to start and keep going for the next day. The combine, it looked to be in good shape, keeps running perfect. We're not putting a whole lot of grain on the ground, which is what we want to see. So overall, we're pretty happy with how that's going, and we cannot wait to get back to it in the next part. Thank you guys so much for watching another video. I know things have finally been slowing down, but of course, right as I have a week to film and get things done, I got hit with a few things at work, and then I also got a little bit under the weather, got sick. So we're going to keep on going with this one because this 1980s type farming is kind of what my dad grew up around in real life, and all this, you know, super old equipment's just, it's simple and it's easy and it's fun. So we're going to keep putting that out. But as always, make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Everything helps. We will catch you in the next one.